Hey, it's John and Mike, brew-dudes.com, and today what we have for you is a beer yeast comparison video. Did you know that White Labs now has dry yeast? Well, they do. This is their WLP001 strain in dry form. If you want to show the camera that, you can go right ahead. Well, I thought to myself, you know what? That's interesting, because you've been doing all these smash beers with SafAle's US-05, and I wondered, how would a beer come out using basically the same wort, make that up, and then split it into two different fermenters and pitch two different yeasts into each of them. So let's talk about the differences, right? I can buy these on the line, and this one goes for at my online homebrew shop for almost $12 US. $12.
That was 12 bucks?
12 bucks. This is $6.50, almost. I think it was $6.49 and $11.99, respectively. Any case, the beer.
Okay.
The beer that I brewed, or the wort that I brewed, is kind of a simple American pale ale. I think the base malt was 92% raw, two-row malt, and then I threw in some crystal malt, probably around 60 love, just to give it some color and a little bit of character. Water was spring, no additives of any kind of brewing salts, and followed a pretty, I don't know, what I would think is a typical American pale ale mashing schedule, just an hour, 150 degrees Fahrenheit for mashing, boiled for 60 minutes, and then added Cascade hops. Just Cascade hops at, I think, at 60 minutes to go in the boil, and then again at 15 to go, and then right at flame out. No dry hopping went into this beer. Just wanted to make one beautiful wort to give two different kinds of yeasts a chance to bring this beer to some kind of final state. So I'm not going to tell you which is which. We have beer.
Oh, great. Oh, good. Okay.
I want you to see if A, is there a difference, and B, lend a guess of what is what. So we'll say that the shorter guy here is beer A, and then beer B is to my right in the taller glass.
Beer A is US-05, and this is White Labs 001.
You think?
Yep.
Why is that?
I'm actually getting a little peach on this, and I don't really know what to expect out of a 001 in the thing, but it's actually, the malt is shining through a little bit more on this, and I'm actually almost get a little bit. There's like a grainy, almost melon-like quality, and I'm saying melon because I actually think it's vanilla. So I'm getting a melon-like quality out of that one, and then this one just has a fruitiness to it. So I'm just sort of hedging that. I know that US-05 once in a while will throw more fruity ester than we want it to. Overall, the hop characters almost seems a little, we get a little more pithiness in this one. This one's smoother, cleaner. I don't want to say cleaner. It's just smoother. It's
interesting.
And so I think that what I know about 001, I just think that's 001.
Yeah, sure.
And this is US-05. But I will say this: they are. If we had done this in a triangle test, I'm pretty sure I would be able to pull them apart.
Okay.
Because I am distinctively able to, just on aroma alone, they're different.
Okay.
Noticeably so. Not like aggressively, not in a really poor way, but it's noticeable.
Okay.
I think. What do you think?
Well, I haven't really examined them both. Yep, you're right. That certainly has a stronger aroma. But I want to stop you and say that You got it wrong.
Ah.
This guy is actually 01, and this guy is 05, US-05. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I noted that like from the beginning, like into fermenter, a piece of blue painter's tape with the top of this on it. So.
Honestly, they are distinctly different.
Well, so let's talk about the differences. I think that's probably what I'm more interested in, I'd like to know more about that peachy thing that you're talking about, because we can talk about fermentation.
Initial aroma when I first sniffed it, this one just sort of had a little bit more of that, of an ester quality. So maybe it is, the 01 is supposed to really get out of the way of the hops and just let the hops come forward and sort of mute the malty backbone. And that sort of is going on here. I just sort of jumped the gun, but so I get it. And it does seem a little bit drier. The finish is a little drier on the palate than this. And by drier, I just mean sweetness-wise. There's definitely some sweetness in this one.
Yeah. I just find that
comes through in the aroma.
The aroma here is so much stronger.
Yeah, but stronger in what way? Like it's more intense, but they smell different to me,
yes,
right?
this is
the qualities are different too, right?
Yeah, this is it's just less hop pungent than this one. Mm-hmm. Yeah, when you said ester, that's a good descriptor of that. This is, I wouldn't say like I'm looking for a Cascade.
There's a more fullness to it, and I assume maybe that's a maltiness coming through.
Potential, yeah.
What was the water? Was it spring water?
Spring water, okay. And no additives, nothing, just straight up spring water. I'll talk a little bit about fermentation. I mean, again, these were brewed at the same time, pitched at the same time. Started off in my basement, but because of production schedules, I've moved them to my my bedroom, stuck them into my closet, my side of the closet. So it was closer to that 72 degrees Fahrenheit. Basements typically in the 60s, low 60s, right? 10 degrees difference. So they fermented pretty quickly too. I'll talk a little bit about the, I didn't use a lot of malt. The starting gravity on both of these is like 1040.
Okay.
So I got this down to about 1008 on each. I wanted to try that. They both fermented around the same. I would say that the 01 signs of fermentation being complete, I think it within like 3 days, certainly like the foam had died down and things were resting. US-05, and I know this from my smash beers, takes a while. Like it's still showing a lot of signs of fermentation through a good week, 7 days. And that's why I usually just, brew on the weekends. By the next weekend, I'm then packaging and then, ready to taste it on camera, as it were. But everything else is like, that was the only big difference of the fermentation temperature. Usually I'm doing it real low and slow. This one I was trying to speeding up, not going to like extremes, but I just wonder if the warmer temperatures brought out more from either yeast strains. So I always felt like
that's what you do. You really want to push a difference, is them being a little warmer, just to see if there is going to be a difference.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll just shake out a little difference. I don't know if we can show the camera this, but look at the color. Look at the color. This is 0. This is the White Labs, and this is 05. This is the US-05 right here.
That's fascinating.
Yeah.
I think that's a function of maybe the emulsifiers. Or
I'm gonna
look at me.
Put this over here.
Pretending to understand how they make dry yeast, but that's what you do.
That's what you do.
So well, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Do you have a preference? The question is, okay, is it worth the price premium for the 001?
I think for our purposes, I'm going to stick with US-05. Because I think that the hops are coming through more in the aroma and then the actual flavor for me. And I'm happy that is the case. I think that if I were brewing something that I was looking for more enjoyment. I was looking for a really clean profile. Then the White Labs is the way to go.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But this, for the price point and just our production schedule, doing it for the dash and all of that.
Yeah.
I'll stick with the 640, the 649 per packet. You know.
I think if you were, it's style dependent too, right?
Yeah.
Like if you were doing a blonde ale or a cream ale or something like that, and you really didn't have a lot of other things going on, the choice between the two yeasts the gap might become bigger. But if you were doing a double IPA or West Coast or any type of IPA, which is what these yeasts are really for, big, bitter and aromatic forward IPAs, maybe the difference would get tighter.
Yeah.
A ton of dry hopping in both of these would probably make it pretty tight.
Yeah.
But I do like the way that this is just a little richer in a way.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, yeah. Fascinating.
Cool experiment.
Cool.
All right. Right on. Cool. All right. We deserve to do an experiment. We got some more coming up. I've got some malt experiments coming up. And we'll check that out.
Okay.
It's kind of the same thing. Like, do you get quality from a different price point? I'll just leave it at there. Because I think people have asked us before, can you brew and like really tell us if it's worth the price?
Yeah, I have a feeling I know what you're talking about.
We'll try to do that at like a smaller scale batch, but hopefully it gives us enough information, or at least 1 point of data to make a judgment. Of course, should always try it out for yourself if you can. We're just here to talk about it, show it off, that sort of thing. All right. I hope you guys liked this video. We liked making it, so give us a thumbs up. Subscribe to our channel because we do this kind of thing every single week. For John and Mike, brew-dudes.com. Brew on.
Cheers.